Welcome to Danish Cartoons for Dummies. I had the opportunity of watching the whole outrage over the outrage, where there are cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad as horrible things, and a dog's rear end and a bomb on his head, all these horrible things. The Western media says, well, because the Muslims have stifled free speech. It's as if we've never seen this form of behavior before. It's like we can't understand what's going on with the Muslims. Just in case we think the Muslims are so unreasonable for being outraged, how would we compare these Danish cartoons? Well, first off, cartoons, political cartoons, are supposed to be satirical and they're supposed to make us think. What does a cartoon of their prophet in a dog's rear end or with a bomb on his head, what does that make you think about? Is it a clever, wise commentary, or is it a hate crime? If those same cartoons had portrayed homosexuals, a homosexual in a sex act or in a dog's rear end, it would be a hate crime. In America, we have special rules governing hate crimes. If you were to put a cartoon strip about Adolf Hitler with a swastika beating a Jew, and it said, "Hooray for Hitler," you know what would happen to that comic strip writer? Minimum, he would be tried for a hate crime against Jews. We have a problem in America with perception about Catholic Church, that the priests molest little boys. Well, there's a couple guys I knew from school who were molested by priests. A lot of them were told by the priest that sexually molested them, that this was what God wanted, and that these little boys were a special gift given to them, and it was all part of the faith. What a twisted interpretation of Christianity. No one in America ever made this stretch, the leap, to say these Catholic priests were doing Jesus' work. Of all these people who were molested, who were told that this was part of the faith, no one ever blamed Jesus. No one ever took the next step and said, these guys were Christians, they're saying they're doing this in the name of the religion. Let's start portraying Christ as a pedophile supporter. No one ever even came close to that. But this martyrdom interpretation, or the terrorism interpretation, was so easy for us to go right from the terrorist right to their prophet. It's a twisted interpretation, but how many of us have bought into the concept that somehow their prophet is somehow implicated in this? It doesn't even make any sense. It's just inflammatory. Imagine if, instead of the Danish paper printing that horrible stuff about the prophet, the Muslims' faith, imagine if they did the same thing to Jesus Christ. What would happen? Would that comic strip have seen the light of day? If it did, the Christians would have gone nuts, and someone might have got killed. Especially, we want to compare apples to apples. The real comparison, to make the equivalent, would be to take Jesus Christ and portray Jesus Christ as a pedophile, raping a child. And again, I think it would be absolutely horrible, but this is a comparison. This would be an equivalent. And the Muslims don't even like their prophet portrayed in an image. I mean, do we have no respect for their faith or the religion? They say, well, they don't have any respect for us because they're killing people. That's not them. It's a small minority of people. So let's take something that's not even sacred in a religious sense, the N-word. In America, we can't even say it's spelled Nigger. We're not even allowed, really, to say that word. You'll never see it in a newspaper because we're trying to snuff this word out because it negatively portrays African Americans. Take Barack Obama, who we love and respect, our new president. And the newspaper in the morning came out, and it had a picture of Barack Obama in a dog's rear end, and it said the N-word across the top. People would be outraged. That guy, whoever wrote that, he would probably be dead. If that guy, they knew who he was and he was walking in certain streets in America, and we talk about our freedoms, he would be killed if people knew he did that. We're so offended that we don't have free speech now because of the Muslims. Most countries in the world, a political writer could get killed for writing just about anything. It has nothing to do with Muslims. You go to China, if you wrote something bad about anything bad about China, you could probably be killed. Russia, you might be poisoned and die the next day. Most countries and non-Muslim countries all over the world, there are things you could write and draw in a comic strip that are sacred or taboo, and you will get killed. In America, if you use the N-word in some neighborhoods, you will get killed. You got freedom of speech? Go down to Harlem in the middle of the night and be a white guy and scream out the N-word, you might just get killed. So we're upset because we can't draw pictures of their prophet in a dog's rear end, and we're claiming that we don't have freedom to express ourselves. In America, our children can't wear a red shirt or a blue shirt to school because they'll get killed. They could get killed. If I put on a red shirt, a bright red shirt, and walked into some streets in America, I would get killed for wearing a red shirt. And we're supposed to be upset that we can't draw pictures of something somebody holds sacred in a dog's rear end or a bomb on their head? Let's put this in perspective. Let's show a little respect for their faith. Let's show a little respect for the Muslims and for all faiths.